Hey guys, Luke with Logical Lacrosse here, and welcome to my bonus special feature for my Week 4 games. And this is Utah at Air Force. I figure I'd do a special feature for this game because, one, I was at it, and two, it had Utah playing in it, and I thought it'd be interesting and cool for you guys to get a first-hand account from me after I gave insight into Utah's first game on how they look now. After a couple games, they've kind of got their teeth cut a bit in the D1 circuit. So let's get started. So first for this game, as always for all special features, I'll go into the statistics first and kind of go into the story then after. But Utah, big upset. You guys know that I coached at Air Force last year and worked on the staff, so sorry if I seem a little less excited for this one Utah win, although so Utah wins it 6-5. Very tough loss for Air Force. That is deflating. Kind of makes me think of our Cleveland State loss last year. Really tough for the guys. They're gonna have to really rebound from that. They looked really bummed after that. But Utah, I mean, they deserve credit. I called it. I was with my dad at this game, and I called it. I told him in the third quarter, I was like, Air Force makes 2 mistakes. Utah's going to win this game. And they did. But this was an attendance of 237 people. It was at the Air Force practice field. It was a great area. I preferred over Falcon Stadium. The turf is honestly nicer at their practice field than it's near the Holiday Athletic Center. And it's actually a lot nicer than the turf at Falcon Stadium. Falcon Stadium turf has not been done at all. It's actually pretty bad for a D1 facility for football. But I mean, I won't get too into that. But it started out as exciting. 10-2-37. It was 4-3 Air Force at half. Very low scoring game. But what made the difference was Utah really turned it on in the fourth quarter, 3-1. They win the fourth quarter, which allowed them to win. They got a big goal to take the lead. With a man-up goal. It was an interference call on Air Force, a little questionable if you ask me. Not just because I'm slightly biased, but it was kind of questionable. It looked like the Utah guy held, and the Air Force guy kind of pushed him. I would have left it a no call. I mean, Utah probably would have scored anyways. I just kind of felt the momentum switch, but I mean, I wish the refs. It was kind of ridiculous because the ref close to the player didn't throw the flag, and the ref on the far side did by the box. It was kind of ridiculous if you ask me. But shots, 41 Air Force towards 19 for Utah. But it's a little deceiving. A lot of Air Force's shots were not on cage. A lot of them were actually not very good. Turnovers, very sloppy. It was a very sloppy game. It's actually a little boring. I hate to say it for you guys, but 28 turnovers for Utah, 23 for Air Force. Clears, 18-23 for Utah, 12-15 for Air Force. Ground balls, Air Force wins these, 37-23. And man up made the difference for the game. Utah 2 of 3 on the man up, 1 of 3 on the man up for Air Force. Players of the game. We'll start with Utah. Josh Stout hit 3 goals. He's their best player. It's kind of said through all my reviews, and I saw him in person clearly, and he's as advertised. He's very good. And Liam Donnelly, the Utah goalie, he had 14 saves. He did some really good saves. He's also as good as advertised on the streams, so if you ever have a chance to see Utah in person this year, I highly recommend it, even if you're a fan of the home team. I mean, it was cool. I couldn't help kind of cheer for them just because I was like, man, this is so cool to see a D1 team from Utah. I never would have thought that when I got into the sport in 7th grade, that to be seeing a D1 Utah team in person. So that's really cool. But my player of the game for Air Force is not anyone specific, but the entire defense. I mean, they gave up 6 goals. Defense played out of its mind. If I had to pick one player, it'd be Brandon Jones. He played very well. He's their best defensive player, number 45. But yeah, it's really, and that kind of sums up the statistics. But it was a very sloppy game. I mean, like I told my dad, it's kind of boring. I mean, Utah. I will say this: Utah's definitely improved for Vermont. Clearly, they won against a pretty formidable Air Force squad. But you could tell they're going to get good pretty fast. I mean, there was definitely one thing I noticed with Utah, though, they're a younger team. They did pass it kind of high a lot, which led to the high turnovers. In my opinion, they pass it high a lot. They probably should have scored more, but they pass it high sometimes. It would cause a disruption in the timing of the opening shot, for the opening for the shot, or stuff like that. So that's something they'll have to work on. I think that was nerves and youth there. But Yeah, a lot of turnovers, very sloppy. There's a difference between good defensive games and bad offensive games, and I hate to say it, but it was more of a bad offensive game. I mean, it's very sloppy. I mean, a lot of drop passes and misfires on the passes. I mean, Utah's clears, I named the clears off 18 of 23, but some of them were pretty bad. I mean, William Donnelly had no help, and he just bomb it down to the offensive side, and usually Air Force would pick it off. But yeah, that was pretty bad that Utah would have to do that because no one was getting open for their goaltender. As I said, in my mistakes high school players make is people don't go back for their goalie to help them out in the clears, and it happens in the college game too. But yeah, sloppy game. The game really turned when Air Force was doing really well. Honestly, at first, when the first man down for Air Force, I honestly didn't remember it was a man down because they just played the guy one on one, and Utah couldn't do anything. But then Air Force gets the stop, and then right after that, there is an illegal body check on Christian Pong of Air Force. It was not a good penalty to take. I didn't really see it because I was on the other side. Maybe it was illegal, maybe it was a questionable call. I'll give the benefit of the doubt to the officials. But and then Utah scored, and they really got some kind of momentum going on there. Made it 4-2. And yeah, that really kind of changed the game, if you ask me. But Air Force, again, the offense, their players, I noticed they didn't really dodge to shoot. They dodged more just to move down the alley and pass it off, which you can't consistently do. No one really got open for Air Force. The game ended. I knew it was going to end like this. He passed it with 8 seconds left. Passed it back up top for the shot, and it was mispassed. I mean, it really summed up the game for Air Force. They really struggled on their fundamentals in this game, which was really a bummer. They're a very well coached team overall. So I think the grind of playing Cleveland State, yes, the day before really got to Air Force more than the grind of playing Denver got to Utah. And yeah, Utah though, they're very well coached. I think their defense was very impressive. I really enjoyed watching their defense. I mean, Air Force really got no openings. I mean, they only allowed one goal in the second half. I mean, they tightened around Air Force kind of like a boa constrictor there. And I thought it was quite an insult to the Air Force players. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's good coaching by Utah, but I mean, the Utah players are coming to play the Air Force guy with the ball when he was outside of the box. I mean, that's a pretty big middle finger, honestly, to the attackmen and mid offensive midfielders, saying, I'm not even going to stay in the box to defend you because I know you're not going to score. And Air Force really didn't score. I mean, it was tough game for Air Force, but I'm really happy for Utah that they could get. They're 2-2 now. They have Furman next. I think they have a very winnable game actually against Furman. They look good. Utah will get good quick, and I hope they continue to play well quick and play good, because I think the faster they are a good competitive team consistently, which they've been so far, minus that Vermont game, which was their first game ever. I mean, what can you expect from a first-year program? But if they continue to play well, I think it'll really help open the door for some new Pac-12 teams to get Division I men's teams, as I really want the men's game to grow. I think we're really lacking on West Coast teams. I mean, Pac-12 has some women's teams, but I'd really like to see some men's games. But yeah, seeing these new programs do well quickly is very good for the sport. I remember reading the thing that the Minnesota club team wants to get the proper funding so they could go D1. Don't know how it's going right now, but yeah, that would be really awesome. But yeah, that sums up the game. Again, it was Utah 6, Air Force 5. So guys, that'll do it for my bonus special feature on Utah's matchup at Air Force. Again, Utah wins it 6-5. I think they're going to get good pretty fast. They played really well. Very sloppy game overall, though. More a bad offensive game than it was a good defensive game, but there was very good defense overall. Really a shame one team had to lose this game, as when you give up 6 goals, you should win, and when you give up 5 goals, you should win. And clearly Utah gave up less, so they won. But yeah, 60 goals for defense, very good. Good defensive effort by Air Force. Air Force's offense is going to step up. They still need to find a consistent offensive threat. Like a guy you can count on to score. But yeah, that'll sum up the game. If you liked this video and found it informational, then please leave a like and subscribe, as I really appreciate all the support you guys have already given me, and I'm looking forward to having more and to continue to give you guys good content. And I'm always looking to improve and make this better. Definitely want to get some more special effects and maybe some music and stuff like that. But if you want more content like this, please feel free to follow me on Instagram or Twitter at the same username, logical_lacrosse. I also have a website, which you can find at www.logicallacrosse.com. But again, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, have a great rest of your day.